DJ to the mixer, from my fingers to the fader. Raise your hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain us. From the DJ to the mixer, from my fingers to the fader. Raise your hands up to the speakers, because this is for the ragers. From the DJ to the mixer, from my fingers to the fader. Raise your hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain us.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to TCNewTech's September pitch event. We're broadcasting tonight from 20 Fathoms in downtown Traverse City, and we have 5 startups that each have 5 minutes to pitch their ideas, followed by questions from our audience. So please add your questions in the chat as soon as you think of them. After all 5 have pitched, we will ask you to vote by text for your favorite startup. Now, at our in-person events, we allow some time for people to get up and give announcements, talk about job openings, people that are looking for work, or other community events. We haven't really had that as we live stream our events. So if you have any announcements, please add them to the chat so that we can share them. And we sure appreciate you being here. We appreciate all the support that you're giving to our entrepreneurs. After tonight's pitches, anybody that's local, we would love to have you join us over at the new Thirsty Fish on State Street and in downtown Traverse City. So we can talk a little bit about the ideas and congratulate the entrepreneurs in their pitch and hopefully some funding. We want to thank Lisa Baker-Lawrence from Access Point. She's a supporting sponsor. Her company's a supporting sponsor of TCNewTech, and she's a founding member of TCNewTech as well. And then she's also been our host for this event. And I'm going to bring Lisa on, and we're going to get this program started.
All right, great. Hi, thank you, Jen, for the warm introduction. Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to our 6th or 7th online TCNewTech. So for those of you who are wanting to get more involved, our mission here obviously is to connect business enthusiasts, tech enthusiasts, anybody who is interested in getting involved with our organization or with someone that is connected. We would want to invite you to either apply to pitch, so you can scan the QR code here on the bottom left. You can also become a member. So we do have paid for membership that covers a lot of our expenses. As we all know, there are things that we need to afford to keep the show on the road. But these are always going to be free to attend. So go ahead and scan left to apply to pitch, scan right to join as a member. Remember, annual membership donations only $20. You get a cool t-shirt, but more importantly, you get an opportunity to be involved at a deeper level. You'll get additional information and an inside skinny on what's going on with TCNewTech. You can vote on board directors. You can also become a board member potentially if there is an opening and when. So this week or this month, we have a new pitch prize sponsor. So one of our pitch presenters this evening is going to win $500. A big thank you to Josh and his family over at Boxdrop in Traverse City. Boxdrop has, hold on a second, I want to read this properly. They have mattresses that you can purchase for 50 to 80% below retail price. So I know Josh and this group personally was just over there a couple weeks ago, and I tell you, I got killer deals on 2 full-size mattresses. So if you're looking for that, connect with Box Drops. And thanks again, Josh, for supporting TCNewTech tonight. Our event would not be possible without sponsorship. And so we would like to say thank you to just a couple more people or businesses rather, that support our organization. Michigan Broadband Services has been delivering lightning fast fiber internet to Traverse City for quite some time. They have been a strong supporter of TCNewTech for just as long. If you're looking for fiber internet for your home or your business, you can contact Sarah Hunt. Her information is on the screen. Thanks again, Michigan Broadband Services. So we are going to, again, give away $500 this evening thanks to Box Drop, and we will need your participation. So if you're joining us and you have your cell phone nearby, keep that nice and close. We're going to give directions on when the time is right, but in order to vote for your top pitch to win $500, you will need to text your vote. So again, the phone number is listed here. However, we'll make sure that we give you plenty of time and directions when the time is right to vote for your favorite pitch. And we're going to get right to it. So I would like to welcome Peter. Peter has Archimedes Innovations, PBC. Welcome to TCNewTech, Peter.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for attending and for supporting Michigan-based startups. And thank you, Jennifer and Lisa and the whole TCNewTech team for putting this together. My name is Peter Forhan. I'm a co-founder of Archimedes Innovations PBC. We are registered as a public benefit corporation because we fully believe that what we are developing and building will be part of the most significant fundamental human behavioral update that we make in the decade of 2020. So I'm going to jump into screen sharing. So just give me a moment to, let's see, there we are. And all right, are we live on the screen share? Yep.
Yes,
all right, I'll take that as a yes. Wonderful. So hand washing is a really hot topic right now for obvious reasons, but it's also really in need of an update. I began an obsession with hand washing back in 2019 when I was investigating that hand washing was great at removing dirt and grime and oils from your hands, but startlingly ineffective at removing pathogens. And also an incredible number of people aren't and weren't washing their hands correctly for the amount of time that the CDC recommends. Hand sanitizer had its own issues with recurring costs and drying out of skin, the waste buildup of all the bottles, and having limited microbial efficacy. So viruses or germs that don't have a fatty layer that the alcohol breaks up are less effective, and this leads to problems down the line. But even if both these methods were incredible and really consistent and removed 100% of pathogens, they're forgetting about our third hand, which of course is our cell phone. Our hygiene has not been updated for having a cell phone in our pocket and in our hands, hundreds of times a day. So of course, hand washing with antimicrobial light output for our product Halo is our solution to this. So Halo emits skin-safe germicidal light that can disinfect a hand and phone at light speed in just 5 seconds. We emit specialized light doses, a specific wavelength that's too weak to effectively penetrate the dead skin cell layer that surrounds your hands, but it's energetic enough to sterilize the germs that are on your skin surface. And our hands are incredibly attuned to the UV when you go outside or in the atmosphere, but specifically UVC that we're utilizing in order to filter out that energy before it contacts living skin. And Halo is very sustainable, both from the cost standpoint and from the resource standpoint. We require 0 water, 0 soap, 0 chemicals. We're producing 0 waste, and we can provide millions of cleaning cycles because we are just activating a light source, passing your hands and phone through it, and turning that off. So of course, the main question, how does it work? How does it work? So I'm very fortunate in that my co-founder is a doctorate from U of M, Go Blue, in microbiology, cellular developmental biology, and also means she has access to lots of labs. So we were able to conduct several hand washing experiments in which we took volunteers, we swabbed their hands, we looked at the germ count before hand washing, after 20 seconds of hand washing, and then after haloing. or just before hand washing and then after haloing. And what we found was that hand washing is, as we saw in research, very ineffective, and that exposing your hands to UVC light through halo can have a really pronounced germ killing effect. Again, this is a visual outlining how that interaction happens in the dead skin cell layer that surrounds our hands. Happy to dive more into this in questions. And of course, from a sustainability and cost standpoint, adding a halo in place of hand washing or hand sanitizer has really pronounced benefits for water savings, cost savings, just pure waste offset. Light is a really easy to access resource that can be turned on and on for millions of cycles without upkeep, just a power outlet. It's also really easy and kind of fun to use. This is Margarita and I, and this is a video of how to do it. For reference, about 97% of people wash their hands incorrectly, but using a halo is as easy as passing your hands through a ring. And halo is unique in that we're forming a curtain of light so that that light is contained within the ring. It's not, outwardly ambient exposed to contact eyes or other parts of the body. You can release that band form, and that's a big part about our defensibility and IP. There's a huge market. Of course, it's gotten bigger as a result of the pandemic and people looking for new sterilization techniques. I won't dive too much into this from a time standpoint. Business model, we're a widget company. We're building and selling products, and so we kind of have a B2B launch initially, and as we reduce our cost of goods, move into B2C. We're big on education and really being science forward, building trust through our marketing, through our campaigns in which we can partner with communities that really need halos first, but possibly can't afford them. And finally, we have a big mission to make halo public utility. We believe that this product can be, ubiquitous, from restaurants to entering office buildings to, outside of bathrooms. And we think this is a huge way to help kill germs in a sustainable way. Thank you. That is my 5 minutes, and you can learn more at wavehalo.com. And I will jump out of screen share for the Q&A. Let's see.
Wonderful.
Am I out of screen share?
Thank you, Peter.
Oh, wonderful.
You are.
Great.
Yes, you are. And we have questions coming in from the audience. I will read them to you and give you your 5 minutes to answer. What IP do they have, and can anyone make this?
Good question. So our IP is specifically related to how halo focuses the light and creates that curtain. So for example, I'll give a quick little demo here of the product. So germicidal light is in vogue right now, but our product, so I'm going to pass through. If you can see how my hands go through that curtain of light, that has to do with collimating the light through a parabolic focusing system. That's a process I designed in 2019. So our IP is about that. The germicidal light standpoint is completely public domain. It actually won the Nobel Prize in 1903, so it's been around for a while.
Okay.
Yep, so we've got one patent on halo. We have a couple other hand washing type device patents that are in the works. And this actually began as a laundry machine, believe it or not. So the first patent that was filed was for a laundry system based around UVC light. So we've got a number of patents describing different germicidal type products. Yep, competitive landscape, great question. So our kind of main competitors, of course, are just the typical ways of hand washing. So soap and water, hand sanitizer. There's very little players in the germicidal light on hand stand position. There are more we're expecting to arrive. We've been hearing about ones, but nothing's on the market right now for light on skin for germicidal effect. So we're primarily positioning ourselves to be where hand sanitizer stands are, or places that need sinks and hand washing, but they can't exactly install a new water line. And the pandemic, of course, has caused us to add a lot of other, I'll just jump to the next one. FDA approval, not required for markets outside of medical. However, we are still going through an FDA approval engagement with a consultancy group, but not required for just market launch into. Great. Germ killing compared to hand sanitizer. Very, very similar to hand sanitizer, depending if you're using both correctly. Hand sanitizer and halo can both achieve over a 99.9% germ kill rate. The difference is hand sanitizer only does that for, should I move when they jump, or are they just scrolling through the questions? Okay.
You can take your time. Yeah, that's okay.
Great.
They might have
germ kill very similar to hand sanitizer. In the case of them both performing their best, oftentimes what we see with hand sanitizer is people using it, but not getting the important bits, which are your fingertips, and kind of, really good at getting the palms and balls. So in our internal studies, is we outperform hand sanitizer, but you can definitely use hand sanitizer to achieve an over 99% germ kill rate. Exposing your hands, 5 seconds is what we calibrate our power output to be. If you double the power output, it would take 2.5 seconds. If you have the power output, it would take 10 seconds. So for our power output, 5 seconds.
All right.
Are there
Well, you have a couple more minutes to answer questions as they come through. I'll say there's a small delay between YouTube and Facebook, so a couple platforms. So as they come, they'll pop up. But maybe you could answer, what is a question you think that we should ask or that we should know that you could answer for us? Frequently asked question of some kind.
That's a great question. A big one we get is, can you use this on other parts of the body? Can you use it in other applications in your life? And of course, you can. It requires basically a matching of the wavelength and energy, so you don't have dead skin cell penetration, but you can still have enough energy on the surface. So we imagine a world where you can wake up and scan your whole body with light, and have clean skin or entering a clean room without the need for artificial hygiene methods. Products available on the market. So we are going through a certification with Intertech right now in order to have our product liability insurance kind of like a UL type positioning. And that is, between probably 60 and 120 days out from being able to mass manufacture and sell. We are manufacturing in Michigan. Every component comes through, outside of our light source is made right here. We've been big on engaging with Michigan-based consultants, manufacturing, design engineers. So we're very proud of our Michigan roots. My co-founder and I are both University of Michigan alumni, and our team is made up of several more University of Michigan alumni. Have you market tested to see whether useful feature? Yep. So a big a question and hurdle we get as well is about how can people trust and know that this is safe and that it's working? Because of course your hands don't look any different. So from a market test standpoint, yes, we have done sort of internal studies about market testing. Now that we have this prototype right here that was completed this month, or I guess in August, we are now doing actual customer sessions with people with specifically this prototype. But a big part of our marketing and educational and branding is really helping people over that hurdle that yes, light can clean, light can disinfect, and it can also be safe. I mean, that's a big part of our kind of campaign to market.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Peter. Stick around. We're going to have voting at the end, and we appreciate you being here. Talk soon.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on in the program, we're going to invite Brenda McClellan, the Director of Investor Relationships at Traverse Connect. She's here to tell us a little bit about the Leadership Roundtable.
Hello, my name is Brenda McClellan, and I am the Director of Investor Engagement with Traverse Connect. Thank you, TCNewTech, for the opportunity to speak with all of you this evening. I am thrilled to announce the newly programmed Leadership Roundtables that we will be launching in October. Each table will have 8 to 12 business executives that will also provide.
Oh, Brenda, I'm sorry. We got you for screen frozen right in a very awkward spot.
To share challenges and experiences and enhance your capabilities. Again, it's a confidential peer group environment that is not industry or role specific and can offer broader perspective, support, and insight. One of the things that makes peer learning so appealing is the just-in-time, on-target feedback. The format enhances leadership abilities and improves decision-making. The meetings will be set on an agreed-upon date and time by the participants of each.
Okay. Well, you can see below how to connect with Brenda over at Traverse Connect if you are interested, in joining the leadership roundtable. Looks like there's going to be some great facilitators and a good opportunity to connect. So brenda.mcclellan@traverseconnect.com. Thank you so much, Brenda, and thank you to our audience being patient as we try a new platform to allow for those messages to be pre-recorded. We're going to move on to the rest of our programming here. Before our next pitch, we just want to say thank you to a few additional supporting sponsors. Very first is Susan Saffordine-Rouser with State Farm Insurance. I'm going to give my co-host a chance to get that up on the screen. There we are. So Susan's team is down on 8th Street, providing free quotes and free coffee for all things insurance, personal and professionally related. We also have our SCORE and SCORE mentors, great group of professionals offering advice to our business community. The Northern Michigan Angels, of course, if you're interested in connecting with those folks, they have been a strong supporter of TCNewTech as well as our startups with some investments. Blake Bernard with Home Waters Real Estate. If you're moving to town or wanting to relocate or list your house, a great group over there with Blake. And our newest supporting sponsor, the Nielsen Family Foundation. Thank you so much, Nielsen family. Our second pitch tonight is going to be Gina Adams with Wearology and the buttons-to-button magnetic adapters. Gina, welcome to TCNewTech. Hi, Gina.
Hi, can you see my screen? Fantastic. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. So think about your favorite shirt hanging in your closet, that one that is the go-to, it's comfortable, it makes you feel confident. Well, now imagine as we get older, activities of daily living that frankly we take for granted are literally like unscrewing a lid or pinching a piece of jewelry are impossible. And sadly, so many illnesses, whether it's arthritis or a stroke, result in the same symptom of loss of dexterity limitations. So what we imagine now, in fact, 1 out of 6 people cannot dress independently. For me, it was witnessing the impact of Parkinson's on my dad that inspired me to look into this problem. And chances are you know someone and understand how loss of independence not only has an impact physically, but there's an emotional toll. So what if we could make one activity, like getting dressed, easy? Like this. I'm Gina Adams, founder of Wearology, and I'm thrilled to introduce a pipeline of products this fall that not only restore independence, but empower people with disabilities to look and feel their best. Now, knowing 30 million people have dexterity limitations, it seemed logical to go to market with our first product, buttons to buttons magnetic adapters. With over 20 years experience in the apparel industry, it was interesting that most adaptive apparel looked like it comes out of a rehab site. And so we are thrilled to encourage people and provide these products that restore not only independence, but well-being. Sold in sets of 10, magnetic button adapters restore independence, time, and dignity. One part snaps to the button, the other to the buttonhole in minutes, just like Tupperware. And so now, for the first time, it's an affordable solution, machine washable, and transferable, so people can express their unique style seasonally. There's really not a lot in terms of competition. The one company, it's not washable. There is a shirt that I'm noticing that's not on my screen that has magnetic buttons sewn into the lapel, but they have limited assortment. And of course, they're expensive. And then there are magnetic buttons that have to be sewn on, but that doesn't seem very practical. Now, with 50 million Americans facing a disability, there's a ripple effect on caregivers like my mom, who would spend anywhere from 14 to 34 hours a week tending for my dad. And obviously, there is not only an emotional toll that takes over both mind, body, and spirit, because she went from being a wife and a friend and a partner to a caregiver. And that role really is significantly different, right? So in 2019, the global adaptive clothing, accessory, and shoe market was $288.7 billion. We're going to target the 1.6 million annual new cases of disability because people facing these challenges for the first time are actively seeking our solutions. This is a growing segment with popular brands such as Tommy Hilfiger and Zappos entering the adaptive space, paving the way to consumer awareness. So now people are actively seeking our solution. Last year, we raised over 6 figures and were able to go to market and manufacture here in Michigan our first sets so that we could acquire our first almost 500 customers. We've validated our product with occupational therapists in key hospital systems, as well as established a foothold in our B2C markets with our own website, as well as selling on Amazon.com. Now we've acquired our first B2B distribution partners, and we're really excited to expand our product distribution, as well as our product assortment so that we can achieve economies of scale. This particular slide does not account for our new partnerships, which we'll be rolling out shortly, but we are really excited about. I'm sorry, I'm looking at these slides, which are missing a lot of pictures. So at any rate, the way we're going to do this is through our amazing team with a diverse group of experience, both professionally as well as independently. And I myself, as I mentioned, used to work in the apparel industry, but I went back to Wayne State to get my MBA so that I could launch this company. We interviewed over 300 customer discovery interviews and are really excited that we know we can empower people. Complemented by our strategic advisors of professional engineers, as well as our outsourced consultants, we are positioned for success. And I thank you for this opportunity. Not only are we developing product that in these really uncertain times help people both emotionally and physically, but through job creation so that we can ensure that we are developing product that's not only functional, but that's beautiful and stylish. We have 10,000 people reaching retirement age every day, and these professionals take pride not only in their independence, but also in their appearance. So
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to make sure we have time for questions. So we have about just under 4 minutes because I have to keep track of all the 5-minute segments. So we have questions coming in. I do see one here that says you need faster internet. We're having a big fiber conversation in Traverse City, so that's a very relevant comment.
I actually did too. So thank you.
Yeah, and do you have an ask tonight? Is the first
We're looking for distribution partners. There's a couple that are under both in the medical as well as the adaptive fashion space. So it's an interesting first product, but we are looking for distribution partners as well as investment. We're raising about $450,000.
Okay, great. We're waiting for some more questions to come in. I guess I can ask the same thing. Is there a common question that you get asked or most frequently asked, or something that you feel like the audience should know?
Yeah, I mean, they're sold in sets of 10. And so as a first to market product, people aren't necessarily seeking the solution. Occupational therapists, as I said, have validated the fact that it's so much better than a button hook, which really wasn't on my competitive analysis because it's an own dressing tool. But that's just one component. During the face of COVID-19, we really pivoted and knew that we had to diversify our products. And so we found some incredible partners that have, such as a magnetic front closing bra that we discovered during our customer discovery work is a huge issue. And we know right now that there's a shortage of caregivers and that dressing independently is a really vital task. So
there's a question that says, does it work with existing buttons so the colors match, or does it replace them?
Oh, it's an interesting thing. So you have to measure your buttons. I'm going to say that first. So on the back of our packaging, you can just measure your button. And then it actually does have, I guess I should show this better, but it replaces your button. So one part attaches to the button, and then the other one, so it's a cream button right now, but we are looking at, with our next batch, being able to embellish that. And so there's a huge market, it's fun. I will say.
Accessorize.
Yeah, exactly.
One color all the way down, every other color down the way down. Okay. Well, it looks like we've answered the questions for the evening. Thank you so much, Gina. Please stick around to the end. And for those that want to vote for Gina, you can note the code BB, and we will give everybody directions and the phone number to text when we go live with our voting. Thanks so much, Gina, with Wearology. Fantastic. So thank you. So we're going to introduce Lauren Bigelow back to the program here with, I think we have another video from 20 Fathoms.
Good evening. I'm Lauren Bigelow, the Executive Director of 20 Fathoms, an incubation, acceleration, and innovation city. We have 4 flexible membership options beginning at $50 a month. Your membership comes with fiber internet, access to 4 conference rooms, printing facilities, a business mailing address. Our kitchen and lounge area are stocked with snacks, Higher Grounds coffee, and workshop brew beer. Our restrooms have showers, so if you hike or bike in downtown, you'll be set. Our upcoming events include Beer 30 at Workshop Brewery, Wednesday, September 16th and 30th, outside on the patio, socially distanced, but networking. Our office hours include HR, legal, and finance professionals, and we have 50 plus other events this fall, including our TC Codes and TC Cyber. Check out our tech and remote job board. We've got more than 50 positions up there. If you're currently unemployed, there's definitely something up there for you. Again, thanks to TCNewTech for this opportunity for visibility. 20 Fathoms is a great space to network, learn, grow, and connect with your community.
And next, we'd like to introduce Keith Kelly, Program Manager with TC Codes, also at 20 Fathoms. Hello, Keith.
Hi, Lisa. Hi. Thanks for a quick moment to make a follow-up announcement to Lauren's message she just gave us. So as you know, over the past year, we've been doing support for software developers. We've tagged that project TC Codes. And I'm really excited to announce tonight that we're going to be expanding that into cybersecurity. So this is the official launch of TC Cyber. So again, same sort of workshops, learning for both professionals and people looking to enter the cybersecurity profession. So we've got a kickoff event. It's on September 10th, virtual event, Cybersecurity as a Career. We've got 4 awesome superstar cybersecurity specialists that are going to be part of that panel. So please come and join us, even if you're a guru or somebody that's just getting started. Great place to have the conversation and just to decide, what those next steps are going to be to kick off this cybersecurity effort here in Traverse City. So again, if you want to sign up for that, check out 20 Fathoms event page. And as always, these events are free, so please take advantage. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Keith. All right, coming right up is our third pitch. I'm going to get right into it with Mr. David O'Hagan with Esperovax. David, welcome to TCNewTech.
Welcome. Thank you very much for your time tonight. I want to make sure that I get this share going. Okay, great. So I have my pitch, and after spending some time with Invest 360 on yesterday, I realized that recording it is a really good idea. So that's what I did tonight. I'm going to play my video. Welcome. My name is David O'Hagan, and I would like to tell you about a transformative new technology developed by Esperovax, a Michigan-based preclinical biopharmaceutical company founded by myself, Savita Nikam, and Roger Newton. Over the next few minutes, I would like to describe a novel drug delivery platform that will reduce the world's reliance on medical injections, as well as limit the cost, pain, and medical waste associated with biological vaccines, therapeutics, and hormones. It's not commonly known, but 7 out of the 10 best-selling pharmaceuticals in 2018 were biological medicines, including Humira, Keytruda, Herceptin, and insulin. These blockbuster medicines are responsible for more than 30% of the overall spending on pharmaceuticals and bring in hundreds of billions of dollars each year. Yet these biological medicines are expensive, painful, and produce large volumes of medical waste that end up on our shorelines. They also have a high manufacturing failure rate, require special handling, and have lengthy development and production times. To solve this problem, Esperovax has developed a robust and patent-pending method to produce and deliver biologicals orally that can make biological medicines faster, better, cheaper, painless, and without medical waste. The egress oral biologics platform produces and delivers its payload to patient cells directly. Our genetically modified strain of yeast produces and secretes nanoparticles that deliver the genetic instructions to produce a vaccine or antibody therapy to your own small intestine cells, where the target proteins are tailored exactly as they should be for each person. Our innovative platform is superior to all existing vaccines in 6 important categories. These include oral and painless delivery, rapid development and production, high quality, global manufacturing capacity, low vaccine production cost, and no medical waste. The market for all US biologicals is approximately $192 billion. In 2017, the world market for vaccine production was $29 billion and is expected to reach $38 billion by 2022. Led mostly by the advent of novel vaccine platforms like new DNA and mRNA-based vaccines. Our business model is centered on the validation of the egress platform and licensing this platform to large customers from 3 groups. The earliest target of this model includes the production of COVID-19 vaccine to be sold to our government partner, BARDA. The second will be for animal health companies that wish to use our vaccine for influenza in swine, and the third includes all other human applications. We have recently been awarded a phase 1 contract from the U.S. Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority to develop a COVID-19 oral mRNA vaccine, and we are now interacting with large strategic partners. We will leverage those relationships to get an early start to our sales cycle. We have also recruited the world's most renowned scientific thought leaders in biology, pharmaceuticals, and vaccine development. These include the Nobel laureate Randy Schekman, director at the Center of Excellence of Influenza, Adolfo Garcia Sastre, former director of BARDA, Robin Robinson, influenza expert Kevin Gilligan, and animal expert Jürgen Richt. Our projected revenues rely on a combination of sales and licensing activity that are subject to change. This table represents our best guess as to the revenue of future products and is the basis of our negotiations with our strategic partners. We recognize that this is highly speculative, and we intend to refine these projections over time. During this round, we have raised $950,000 of an authorized $2 million. We are looking to complete this round by October 31st by offering a convertible note with a very generous 30% discount and 8% interest rate. We will use these funds to support our development of the COVID-19 vaccine and distribute those funds according to the following table. To summarize, Esperovax has broken the oral delivery barrier for biological medicines. We have assembled the finest team of world-renowned advisors and have landed a government contract that will provide the validation that our platform needs. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Excellent.
So
So you are.
I'm just going to stop sharing here. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Super. Well, while we'll wait for those questions to come through, we'll give you the opportunity to let us know. Is there a question that you think that we should ask, that you maybe a frequently asked question?
So mostly it's, has it worked in animals? And what I can tell you is we've tested this approach in mice, and we were able to induce an immune response in mice using this yeast secreting a nanoparticle that uses green fluorescent protein, so that we can track where those nanoparticles go inside the small intestine. And so that worked very nicely. And we're going to move on to swine or pigs because they have a digestive system that's very similar to humans.
Do you expect to require additional rounds of funding?
We do, but we're also spending a lot of time. We have set up a contract with Free Mind Consultants, and we are filing grant after grant after grant. And so there's a lot of non-dilutive funding out there, and we believe that most of our money will come from non-dilutive sources. We also are looking to continue our phase 1 to phase 2 contract with BARDA, which could cover the entire cost of the COVID vaccine. How does the yeast work? Okay, so what our intellectual property is based on is the ability to secrete nanoparticles from yeast at all. So it's always been known that you can do this, but there's a cell wall around yeast, and it's very, very difficult to get those nanoparticles out. What we did is we came up with an enzymatic way and a genetic way that the cells are triggered to punch holes in the cell walls and allow those nanoparticles to be released. This is the heart of our intellectual property. Our developing is applicable to both. Yes. So what we're doing is we're delivering the mRNA. The mRNA, just like Moderna, is going to deliver the instructions to make the biological, or the protein in this case, in your gut cells. So the two projects that we have are to deliver the S protein as part of the COVID-19 vaccine, but we're also delivering the mRNA for an antibody against the COVID, so it can be used as a therapeutic. Very, very expansive. Once we can deliver biologicals, we can deliver any biological just by changing the gene. It's got a plug and play format to it, so you can. Maybe insulin is something that you want to take orally, or an antibody against cancer. And I hope I answered that.
I think you did. I think we're all learning a lot here, and I think you did a really great job with your presentation. I give it a couple more seconds for any delayed questions to pop through from YouTube here.
So I recorded that using Zoom. So that was nice.
That was excellent.
Yeah, it was a nice trick. I had a great time in the studio for Invest 360, and told me how it was done. So I was like, that's a really good idea.
It's a great tip. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. I see, someone else agreed, and thank you, they said. And so with that, I think we will make a note that your code is CC for David O'Hagan with us as Sparrow Facts. And David, hang on, a little bit later, we're going to announce the live voting opportunity, and we'll hope to see you there.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. So we have another announcement very quickly here from Doran York, the founder of SidePitch. They are a new partner with TCNewTech and have an exciting opportunity for our startups and investors. Hello.
Yay, how are you?
Great. Good evening.
Good evening. Let me see if I can share the screen here. I don't know which one. Okay, here we go. So good evening, everybody. Jennifer and I talked last week, and I requested we can have a couple minutes to announce that. We are a venture group in Birmingham, Michigan. We are early stage investor in a lot of Michigan-based startups. One thing we learned through our process of vetting company to invest, that the process is too lengthy and too low tech. After 2 years of development, we built a platform called SidePitch, which basically allows startup company to create a profile, which is a little bit require more than just a pitch deck, and you instantly connect to large pool of early stage investors all over the Midwest. We currently have about 220 venture groups using the system, and it built in a way that investor can categorize what type of opportunity they're looking for, and they can see who are other the investment groups that are interested in a particular opportunity, which is basically, after a year of testing it for our venture, we got to a point we go from pitch to funding within 60 days, which is very, very, very unheard of in this venture business. So we offer TCNewTech and other ecosystem in the state of Michigan to startups in the area that would like to connect the investor to use the system with no charge. There is an application fee, but we're waiving it for Michigan companies. Jennifer has a code for TCNewTech, so when you apply in the system, put the code in, so it's going to give you a free pass. And then we also build into the system that a startup build a profile online. They can then share this profile with any investor they want in or off the platform. So you create it once and you can circle it. You can upload videos, pitch deck, whatever you want. So we're excited about it, working with TCNewTech and University of Michigan, TechTown. We are committed to turn this to a central deal flow for the state of Michigan. So if you're looking to raise money, you want to connect to investor immediately, that's the best way to go.
Awesome.
There you go.
Very exciting, Doran. Thank you so much. We are grateful for your generosity with Side Pitch, and I'm certain that you will be hearing from several of our startups very soon. Thank you so much. So for all of you waiting on that code, you can hang tight. Jen will make sure she gets that to everybody. Fourth pitch tonight, Prashant Sala with Fix My Car. Good evening.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Okay, great. All right, let me share my screen.
While you're doing that, Jen, you've been summoned to give the code in the comment section, if that's possible. Fantastic.
All right, so think of the last time you had to visit an automotive repair shop to get your car fixed. It must have been extremely inconvenient to drop your car, get a ride back, pick up the car the next day or so, only to find out that this could have been fixed within a few hours. The whole process takes forever. And if you were lucky, you got overcharged. So, hey guys, my name is Prashant Sala, and I'm the founder and CEO of Fix My Car. It is the fastest and the easiest way to get your car fixed anywhere you might be. We've built a platform to connect you with local independent certified auto mechanics in your community who already have the skills and the tools to be able to come to your house and fix almost 80% of the repairs. And so who are these guys? They are a mix of full-time mechanics who work at a shop 9 to 5. They work with us on the weekends and outside of their working hours, and full-time mobile mechanics. Some of these mechanics have recently quit their jobs and started working with us full-time. That is because we can give them consistent work and pay them almost twice as much as the industry pays them. So we're making a real difference in the mechanic community. We're getting consistent testimonials about how we are helping them take care of their families because of the fact that we give them consistent work, and especially in an environment after COVID where they've been getting laid off from the industry, and we are there to support them. On the customer side, we all you have to do to use the service is you go online to fixmycar.io, click a few buttons, and one of our certified mechanics is going to come to you within a few hours. Now, here's the most interesting part. Not only it is highly convenient to use this service even on a Sunday afternoon, but also 20 to 30% more affordable than going to a shop. So think of us as the Amazon Prime of automotive repair. except we don't charge any membership fees. So you might also be thinking, what services can be performed in a driveway or in a mobile environment? So these services can range from general maintenance, diagnosing no starts, electrical issues, and replacing most parts like brakes, suspension, steering, and more. Anything that you would go to a repair shop for, we can do it in your driveway, except for heavy, complex jobs like replacing an engine or any body work. Here's how the unit economics work. We take a 30% cut from each transaction, and each transaction has a $200 value that the customer pays us, and we keep 30%, and 70% is for the mechanic and for our parts suppliers. We make money on each transaction because of the fact that we are able to lower the cost of acquisition through Google search only for now. And we are seeing repeat transactions and repeat customers from the customers that we've served a few months ago. So where are we right now? We are at a stage where we've raised $250,000 end of last year from someone who I met at a bar in Ann Arbor. We recently crossed 1,000 bookings on our platform. So we've fixed 1,000 cars on our platform. We are in 3 markets as of now: Southeast Michigan, Los Angeles, California, and Dallas, Texas. We are at a stage right now, we've proven unit economics. We're growing 35% month over month, and have started to see repeat customers from organic traffic. Last month, we did about $45,000 to $50,000 in top line revenue. So, which is why we are raising a seed round of $1.5 million, so that we can accelerate our growth in newer markets. We've already soft circled a couple $100,000 from our angel investor who reinvested, and a couple other angels in the community. We require 0 to no cost upfront to launch in a new market, which we have proven already. And because it's a repeatable process to launch in a new market, the risk is minimal. So most of the investment in this round is mostly going to be used for marketing and operational support, for growth, and also enhancing the product for onboarding on both sides. After this round, we are confident to be in 10 markets and doing $15 million in top-line revenue by the end of next year. And we have an all-star team to make all of this happen. I would be glad to answer any questions. So thank you for your time.
Wonderful. The questions are coming in. Can you see them on the bottom of the screen?
Yeah. So let me stop sharing. There you go. All right. How fast will we expand geographically? So it would probably be once a market in every few months. And the way we judge saturation in a market is mostly on the supply side. So as long as at any given point, there's always a limited resource for top quality mechanics. Once you hire them, once you keep them busy, and once your numbers start kind of moving out of the saturation threshold, then we start moving to a new market. So insurance, we insure all the jobs that we do in a mobile environment. So any customer who gets a car fixed from us, we have insurance on the work. And on the mechanic side, they have insurance for themselves. And these mechanics are 1099 contractors. So any mechanic joining, they have insurance on their side. So customer satisfaction, we have an NPS of 9.5 from 1,000 jobs, more than 1,000 jobs that we've done. And repeat business rates is about 15-20%. And we've seen a lot of customers who we served a few months ago coming back for their second repair. Do the mechanics work exclusively for us? The answer is yes and no. A lot of the mechanics have full-time jobs at their day jobs, and then they work outside of the hours and on the weekends. A lot of them have quit to work with us full-time. So the people who have quit, they work with us full-time. But the general theme is these people want to quit their jobs and work for us full-time as long as there's demand. The question is, how do you validate the experience and skill level of mechanics in the hiring process? So our hiring process is automated, except we do one quality check phone call for their technical skills. So the automation is on the lines of we check their soft skills, we check their technical skills and the tools that they have. And then with a phone call with our senior mechanic or on the service side, we check for any other technical skills and the fact that they are presentable to our customers. How do you find and vet mechanics? So the acquisition on the mechanic side is mostly through Facebook right now. And we've not tried any other channel as of now because Facebook has been working so far. And the way we vet the mechanics is basically do a background check. We check their certification level. There's a third-party certification that allows us to kind of make sure they have the certification to work on a car. Cost of parts. So our customers buy parts from us, and that is way cheaper than going to a shop to buy the same part, just because we don't have a lot of overhead. So we do have a cut from the parts transaction because we get discounts from our parts suppliers. And we have partnerships with O'Reilly and AutoZone and Advanced Auto nationwide. So our mechanics can go to any parts store, any mile, as long as there's an O'Reilly or AutoZone parts store, they can get their parts without any friction.
Okay, I think we are just at time, so you have answered all the questions, unless you have one question that has not been answered that you would like to make sure the audience is aware.
So I would just like to say our long-term goal is, so we're raising $1.5 million right now to be able to get to a Series A investment next year or early next year. But the long-term goal is to build a relationship with our customers for an end-to-end car repair experience. So we start with Fix My Car, but we want to be able to tow my car, so we can tow the car to your house, and then Fix My Car can take over, and then eventually do all the services with our partner shops for the services that we can do. So the question is, you have parts inventory. Most of 90% of the parts are available almost instantly from our parts suppliers. That's what they've been doing for decades now. And we have accounts with them. So our mechanics, if they feel the need to grab a part, they could go to any O'Reilly or AutoZone every other mile, get the part, and we get billed from the supplier.
Fantastic. All right, great. Thank you so much, Prashant, with Fix My Car. Please stay tuned. Your code is DD for those of you that are looking to vote for Prashant and Fix My Car. Stick around for voting directions very soon. So next on the agenda, our fifth and final pitch is local Matthew Hall with Midnight Harvest. Hello, Matthew. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good to see you.
Hello. Good to see you. Well, let's get this thing going. All right.
Perfect.
All right. I guess we're up and running. Hi, everyone. And thank you, TCNewTech, again for this opportunity. As someone with people seen me before, I was here last November. A little more specific this time. But for those of you who haven't, my name is Matt Hall. I am the owner and founder of Midnight Harvest Mushroom Farm. We are located in Interlochen, Michigan, which is just outside of Traverse City area, where TCNewTech is based. For the past 5 years, I've been studying and growing gourmet mushrooms. And for the past 2 years, have been providing local restaurants, CSAs, and retail shops with fresh mushrooms like shiitake, maitake, and lion's mane We produce right now about 35, 40 pounds of mushrooms a week, but we're capable of upwards of 100 pounds a week. But during this time, I decided to put efforts towards morel mushrooms. So maybe one day we would be able to discover the secrets beneath the soil. In March of 2020, we did just that and grew tiny morels indoors in a controlled environment. This achievement has been repeated week after week, allowing us to study them and their needs for proper growth. Our goal is to simply provide and sell fresh mushrooms indoors year-round, creating consistency, quality, and of course, tons of flavor. The flavor of morels is only matched by their economics. Morels are worth billions as a seasonally foraged product worldwide. Once transformed into a year-round agricultural product that any business can then put on a menu, shelf, or into a value-added product, it will ultimately transform into a hundreds of billions of dollars worldwide market. Now, and new things that come out in the business area, in order to accomplish all these tasks from both the farm end, but from the business end, I brought on a co-founder. Together, we were able to grow, maintain, and distribute to make sure we are checking every box. Our short-term goals will be simply providing fresh morels online, shipped overnight to anywhere in the US via our website. Soon after, possibly value-added products, maybe with some other partners. All these goals will take a team effort, but also a trusted team, since the science will be held and protected under trade secret. We will not be patenting anything due to the fact that in the world of mushrooms and in the market world, China owns 85% of the world market. Not to mention, this is an agricultural product designed to taste and look exactly like its wild counterpart. The big question we get is anybody else doing this? China has developed a method that seems promising, but further research showed it is limited. It's still subject to inconsistency and is still outdoors. The Penn State quote there actually went on to say, yeah, this looks amazing. It doesn't happen all the time. Mycopia, which is actually in Michigan, about 2 hours south of where we are, they're a big company. They ended up developing an indoor method that was first born in the 1980s. They've produced a few photos since then. I do a lot of research, of course, on my competition, but Mycopia has shown a little more promise, but less consistency than China in outdoor methods. Currently, you cannot buy morels fresh from their website and or even find their product in stores. And to the conversation of competition in the world market, it's okay to have more than 3 morel farms in the world. I'll be okay with the competition. And so right now we're going to go on to current research, which allows us to grow morels every week. The photo on the left there is actually a morel in a petri dish. I'm not too sure if people are the size of a petri dish. This is actually a filter top. It's about the size and depth of this. And then as our trials have scaled, so has the morel. And eventually we'll be accomplishing what no other farm has done, which is quality, consistency, year-round, and forest-like flavor. To give you an idea of what the morels on the right look like, if it is your right, the multiple of morels, it's a container like this. It's a tissue container that we stick inside a few controls that allow us to grow morel in a controlled environment. In fact, those morels happen in this container or one of these like these containers. While we knew the DNA was quality coming from Penn State research labs, the secondary verification of a visual was always nice. So there on the left, you can actually see the smallest morel mushroom formed with a cap, a connection. They call it a stipe, but we'll just call it a stalk as well. That's the easiest term for everybody. The other middle photo is the same one you saw starting off with, and the morels were actually huge in size compared to our petri dish size ones. They didn't need to be under the microscope to see a little bit of their definition. And then the iconic pitted cap. If you look closely, you'll see the ridging everyone sees with the morel, and that it is pitted because of the cup fungi. And now we have some of the best imagery of the morel life cycle ever depicted in photographs. And these are actually happened just about a week ago or so, about 2 weeks ago. Once again, the week to week allows us to capture a lot of imagery and learn a lot about them on a weekly basis. The photo on the left is pretty substantial in that we're seeing the cap actually being formed with the ridges there aligning the top. And the other 2 photos we're taking with an iPhone. So we're not getting into macro photography anymore or microscopic photography, and that we're getting into full visualization of the morel mushroom. And the usually thing is, when you're going to grow them bigger, that'll come along. It's getting there. Currently, yes, we are asking. So that is why we are here. We are seeking out actual investment. You can see the evaluation there. A lot of the money in year one will go towards working capital, will go towards the ability to focus our efforts on the morel to make them go from that tiny little position you saw to a bigger realized farm where we're simply selling and growing morels on a weekly basis. And so this kind of lays out everything the money will be used for. This is a 3-year runway, which is pretty substantial for that kind of investment to last that long. And we feel pretty confident that within a year, we'll have the fully realized edible morel mushroom that will be bought and sold online, just like the truffles are right now. Anyway, I just want to thank you all for your time this evening. I'll leave it over to the questions. The only question I won't answer is, how do you do
it? How did you know that was going to be my next question?
It's usually the big question.
So that is the most popular question, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
While we're waiting for those questions to come through, do you have another question that you are willing to answer that is maybe most frequent or uncommon?
Most frequent, well, the nice one I really like lately was, is it repeatable? And yes, it is. That's the biggest thing about scientific discoveries is you have to repeat what you did. And then typically, how do you protect yourself? We're going to go under trade secret. We're going to just, we can take all the necessary steps to actually follow trade secret law, but also to ensure that anybody we're bring on board, they're trusted. My co-founder, Rebecca, is a friend of 20 years also. So it's the nice thing about, and she gets the job done. She's self-motivated. So I feel that that's the biggest thing about trade secrets is a paper will only go so far. You can only have so many NDAs out there. Someone's going to do something. And then when is it, show me the big morel? That's usually the question. And at that point, we wouldn't need investment. The business would be self-liquidating. We would be able to sell fresh morels every week via our website. And at that point, we wouldn't need an enormous amount of capital. We could really bootstrap it. So right now we're in a sweet spot of being able to invest in this business.
Wonderful. Well, I think you've done a fantastic job providing a good outline of what you're looking for and what you're up to over at Midnight Harvest and your project with morels. I don't see any questions coming through right now. If it pops up between now and the end of my little comment section, I'll let you know. But otherwise, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Please stick around, Matt. We're going to actually move right into voting now. So everyone will need your cell phones. As previously mentioned, and then you'll want to text your vote to 203-529-8755. You can see all 5 of our presenters this evening. They each have their name and they all have a code. So you could text AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, et cetera, and a huge thank you to Josh and his team over at Boxstrap for supporting our sponsors this evening, or supporting our pitch folks this evening. One of you will win $500. So while we are letting the votes tally in, you will see them live. Continue to vote, and we want to thank a couple of our in-kind sponsors. So Kelly Ignis with Workshop 67, providing website design and support, and all of the other many in-kind sponsors that we have listed here on the next screen. Couldn't do that without them, so thank you so much. And we want to say we have a job board. So if you go to tcnewtech.org, on the top-hand side, you will see our job boards available for those seeking employment and those who have employment to offer. So we're getting really close to our 2 minutes for live voting. If you have not voted yet, text your vote to 231-529-8755, and you could see the codes for the, it's not working because we have 2 different lines. I apologize. It's actually 203-529-8755. My apology. The bottom screen is not accurate. So 203-529-8755. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We'll give it a second here for those folks that were trying to get through on their area code. It has been corrected. So the bottom of our screen is 203-529-8755. And Jen's going to come on with the announcement and our winner this evening.
Yeah, we're getting very close. And we're very excited about all 5 of these great startups. Very exciting. And we're excited about the news that Doran shared and this new platform and the opportunity it brings to those that pitch at TCNewTech and our investors and bringing those all together. So hopefully, let's all head over to the Thirsty Fish on 8th Street in Traverse City after this and celebrate our winner.
State Street, right?
On State Street, yes.
Yeah,
And it looks like we do have a winner, and it's Peter.
Peter with Archimedes. Congratulations.
Let's bring in Peter. Well, he may have already headed over there. Here he is.
Yay! I appreciate the support, everyone. I was changing it. My house was so hot, I was putting it on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really awesome, Pete. We're happy for you. And it'll be a product that I could see down the road we're all going to end up using too. So we'll keep in touch with you so we can continue to share updates on where everyone is and what you end up doing with your prize money. So thanks a lot for joining us, Pete, and we'll be back in touch.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I had a great time, and it was a pleasure to listen to everyone else's pitches as well.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
And now, just one more announcement.
The bottom of
winner again.
Am I still on the screen? Oh, I am. Hello. Okay, good. Thought I might have lost everybody. We have 2 final announcements. So obviously, a giant thank you to Michigan Broadband Services delivering fiber broadband to Traverse City. And we want to let you know about our next event, right, in October. So we're going to invite MSU Innovations back. And thank you so much for being here tonight. Make sure you save the date for October 6th. Same time, same place. Check us out on Facebook Live or YouTube. And we will see you October 6th at 6 p.m.
Yeah, the first Tuesday of every month, year round for the last 5 years. So that's going to continue. And we're very excited about October and bringing Michigan State University to the TCNewTech platform. And we're hoping that we can get an entire cohort of MSU pitches on the stage next month. So if we have some alumni in the house, I'm sure we do. There's make sure that you're at that event to support the innovations that are coming out of MSU. And thanks again, Lisa, for a great job. And thanks everybody for coming and supporting TCNewTech. You can become a member or you can apply to pitch. We're always looking for volunteers. And thanks for helping to make this grow and bring new technology and new businesses to the area. Have a great night. We'll see you over at Thirsty Fish.
Good night.